Today we're going to be doing a basic Prehung interior process. So I'm going to start out on the login screen. So this is what your login screen should look like. You'll enter your email address and the password that you selected, and then just click login. Okay, there's a few ways that you can go ahead and start a quote. There's new quote, which is located here as well as on the landing page right here. Quick configure. All three of these will let you do door quotes. Below that you'll see one that says buy hardware online. That'll take you to the hardware configurator. You can also get there through the new quotes, but it's a little bit longer of a step process, so it's quicker to go through here. I'm going to go ahead and do a new quote just to show you the difference between that and the quick configure. So if you click on new quote, it's going to take you to the quote details screen. And on this is where you would enter your purchase order number, internal contact. If you've talked to somebody and you want them, given them instructions, you can go ahead and put their name here. We do have a set of employees that enter all the orders out of Talon, so they'll contact them if they need to. This, where it says job contact and phone number, that's for your internal use. So you can put your job contact and phone number there. Sales rep will auto-populate. If the right rep is not on there, it will eventually catch up and correct itself. Requested date, this is where you can go in and select a ship date. We'll do our best to meet that ship date depending on our production schedule. Order comments, we prefer you do not use this field. I'll show you where we would like comments to be, because this field right here gets missed with the comments. We don't usually see this until it's way too late. All these other items will auto-populate, so you don't need to worry about those. However, anytime you enter any information in here, you're going to need to scroll all the way down to the bottom and push save. And then in order to start your quote, you would go here to line items and then new line item. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to actually go back to the landing page. And the way you can get there quickly is if you just click on this Talon logo up here in the left-hand corner. This will take you right back to the landing page. So I'm going to do a quote through the quick config so you can see how quickly you can get to the brands. So if you click on this one, it'll automatically take you to the brands that you want to select, including hardware. So, but today we're going to do an interior, so we're going to click on ABS interior. And more choices. Anytime you see the more choices, you want to go ahead and select that so you can see what's available. The one that I'm doing today with the interior will be related to flush wood, molded, louver doors, and the style and rail. I will be doing separate videos for the mirrors and pockets in the near future. So we're going to go ahead and select molded doors. Again, there's more choices here, so we want you to select that. So you can see on the interiors we have the option for bifold and bypass as well. We're going to start out with the single interior prehungs. And as you start selecting product, you'll notice that this will give you a green check mark. If there's questions that need to be answered, those boxes will have a red triangle with an exclamation point in them, letting you know that there's additional questions that have to be answered. So once you've answered that question, you're going to either come down here to where it says configuration dimensions and push that one, or you can actually push the one at the top, whichever's easiest for you. So now we're going to start selecting our handing, our call out width, and our height. Now you'll notice once I've done that, it starts populating your image to the left here, so this is going to be your jam. And then it'll start adding information the further along we get. So again, I can either use this arrow or the one up here. So I'm going to push door model options. So this is our skin type, either smooth or textured. If I select textured, there's only going to be two options available to you. When I select smooth, if I leave it as finger joint styles, there's several options. If I select fiber styles, that only gives you two options because those are the only two doors that we offer with fiber styles. So I'm going to go back here and select finger joint. And I'm going to go ahead and select the Monroe product. Again, it's going to give you options down here for 1 3/8 hollow core, 1 3/8 solid, or 1 3/4 solid. When you select this 1 3/4 solid, that is prehung on an interior flat jamb. That is not an exterior rabbeted frame. Also in here, you're going to notice question marks throughout. If you click on the question mark, it'll actually expand this drawing. So this will actually show you what the sticking looks like on this product. And then you could click it again, it'll make it even bigger. So I'm actually going to select 1 3/8 solid core doors for this example. Okay, so once I got through the door selection here, you're going to notice that the accessories and door preps and the prehung options both have green check marks. The reason that is we set these up to auto-populate for the most commonly used options. I suggest when you first start quoting that you go into these and look at them, but once you get more familiar with this, if that's what you're going to be selecting all the time, then you can just pass those and go to the next. So for accessories, that's going to be your boring information. Single bore is what it defaults to. If you need to change it to no bore, you just select that. I'm going to go back to single bore though. The beveling here, this is for our internal use only. This is so that we know what product is being pulled. So in this case, I only stocked this door in a square edge, so I need to bevel that product. The next one that was auto-populated were your prehung options. So it auto-populates primed, a 4 9/16 wall condition, no carpet cut, no casing, and US 4 hinges. But there's other options available. So again, if you press more options here, you could change this to a finger joint or a poplar, whichever of these species you wanted. Wall conditions, again, there's several stock options, but if you needed a custom size, you would select custom, put in the size you want, and press the tab button. So that'll take you to your next question. So in this case, we're going to go with a custom 5-inch. I'm going to go back and select the 4 9 just so we're consistent here. Again, if you need carpet cut, 7/8 is our standard if you want to do that. Or if you need, say you needed a 1/2 inch, you just put half. Again, push the tab. It's going to convert this to 0.50. And then that's what we'll cut those doors to. I'm going to do no carpet cut. Curve for bullnose. So there's an option for one side, either hinge side or stop side, or both sides on that. Casing, finger joint, or MDF. So I'm going to select MDF for this option. Again, more choices, so these are all the ones that we would have. Just know when you select this, so I'm going to do 2-inch 356. That'll be casing, cut, and mitered, both sides for the unit. Hinge options, there are options for 5/8 radius and 1/4 radius. You'll notice on the 5/8 radius, which is currently selected, there's more choices. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that so you can see. But if I do 1/4 radius, my options are limited. Don't have as many options for that. So just be aware of that. I'm going to go back to 5/8. I'm going to check the 10B. It asks you if you want ball bearing. This is an option. So you'll notice for 1 3/8 solid cores, it's automatically going to be 3 hinge prep. So I'm going to go back here to my door model options for you. And I'm going to change this to hollow core. So I'm going to go back to my prehung options. Because I had it as solid, it's going to automatically populate it as 3 hinges. But our standard is 2 on a hollow core. But you can, in fact, select 3. So I'm going to leave that as 3. So once all those questions are answered, again, we're going to hit the next tab. Then it's going to ask you to confirm your rough opening width and your rough opening height. So this is the rough opening width down here. So if that's not what you need on your rough opening width, you would select the red X for no, and then it'll give you the information here. So the maximum, or the maximum rough opening width you can go down to is 30 inches. So if that's what you wanted, you again put 30 in there and push the tab, and then that's going to change your rough opening width. And your overall frame width is going to be 29.5 now. I'm going to go back and select that I want just the standard. Again, same on the rough opening height. If you select no, it's going to give you what the maximum we can go down to on this door is. And again, you would put that number in here and then push the tab button. And then that will show you what your net frame height is here. Again, I'm going to go back and just select the standard. Then below that, you're going to see a box here that says label door. If I select yes, this will let me put in some text. So say I want, and then I'm going to press tab. Say I wanted this door to be labeled, so when they're spreading this to the home, they'll know where this door goes. We can do that. There is a charge for that. So just be aware of that. I'm going to put no label for now. So once you get to this point, you can actually just add it to the quote. But in most cases on interiors, you're doing a house pack. So my suggestion is that you come over to this down arrow and select save and copy first off. So I'm going to do this and do, say, some left hand, some door width changes, some wall condition changes. So first let's do a save and copy. So that created another line item, which is number 200. And I'm going to come back over here and just change these to a left hand, still leaving them 26. Again, do the same thing, save and copy. And now I'm going to go back to the right hands and I'm going to change these to 2/8. Again, same thing, save and copy, and do my left hands. This time I'm going to save and copy. Go back to rights. Let's change this to a 3/0. And say on the 3/0s, I know that the wall conditions are not going to be 4 and 9. Say they're going to be 5 1/4. I can just click on the Prehung options here. Change my wall condition to 5 1/4. Leave everything else the same. It'll change it for the sizing because nothing else is changing. Say you're doing all that the same. And then go back, save and copy, and say I know I need some more 3/0s, but they're going to be left hands. Okay, so now that I'm done with all of that, I know that I need 8 3/4 20-minute house to garage door. So I'm going to save everything and press the save and new. The reason I'm doing this is it's hard to go back to the product selections here and select the 20-minute. It just doesn't work very well. So I suggest you do save and new line item. So it's added all those lines to the quote. Now I'm going to go back in here to ABS interior. I'm going to select molded again. I'm going to select the fire door. And then it's going to ask me if I want to speed up and copy all these. I put no only because I like to look at those options as I'm going through them and make sure I'm getting the right information for the 20-minute because it is a little bit different. So I'm going to pick left hand. Let's pick a 3/0 6/8. Again, I'm going to do smooth, Monroe. So once I select the Monroe and the smooth, it's going to give me the sticking, but it's automatically going to populate 1 3/4 solid core because that's the door that we would use for a 20-minute. Again, once I did that, this green got, this accessories and door preps got a green check mark. So I'm going to go in here and just look at what they consider standard, and our standard is single bore. Normally house to garage is single bore, but if you needed to change it to double bore, you could. Then I'm going to go to Prehung options. Again, this does default some items, so it'll default your primed frame because that's the only thing available in a 20-minute. It's going to default no carpet cut, and it's going to default to no sill and no molding, and then the US 4 hinges. So if you need to change your wall condition, you can do that here. These are the standard wall conditions. You could add a carpet cut if you needed to. Kerf for bullnose will be one side only. And then we can add a sill. So we're going to do bronze fixed. I know a lot of times people don't add sills on these because they do drop-ins at the end, and that's fine. You would just leave it as no sill. If you need stucco mold or brick mold, you can definitely add that. I'm going to pick 10B hinges like I had on the others. Since I'm doing a bronze sill, I'm going to do bronze weather stripping and a bronze door bottom. Then again, I'm going to go to the order confirmation. It's going to ask me to verify my rough opening width and height. And again, they're over here. So I'm going to just do the green thumbs up on both of these. And I'm going to add it to the quote. So now in those few steps, we have 7 different line items. The one line item I'm going to show you also is the louver doors because it is a little bit different. So I'm going to go up here and select new line item. It should take me right to the brands. I'm going to select interior. Now I'm going to select louver doors. We'll do a single prehung. Don't want any of the same information to pass. So I'm going to do a right hand. Okay, this is the main difference between anything else that you're doing. We have it auto-populated to stop side blind side, but if you need to change that, you can to hinge side blind side. So then I'm going to select a size. Again, it starts populating the jamb. Okay, then the options are the plantation louver, so these are the wider slats with a lock rail. The plantation louver with no lock rail. A standard louver door, louver top, louver bottom with a lock rail. And the louver top panel bottom with a lock rail. So I'm just going to pick a standard louver door. So those are available 1 3/8". Again, you'll notice those two populated with a green check mark. So it's going to be the same as the other interior prehung standards. So it's going to be single bore, and it's going to be prime 4 and 9, no carpet cut, no kerf, no molding, US 4 hinges. So we'll leave that 4 and 9. Again, we added casing on the other, so I'm going to select the same. And we did 10B hinges. So on louver doors, you have the option of ball bearing. So if you want ball bearing, you can do that. Louver doors, we recommend 3 hinge. So that is what's automatically going to populate. You do have the option to do 2. We don't recommend that because of the weight of the door. But we know there's some older homes that have that, so we wanted to give you that option. Again, we're going to go to confirmation. Again, we need to verify our rough opening width and height. And then we can add that to the quote. And that's your basics for the interior prehung options. And we'll be doing some more of these, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you.